What's up guys, this is Passport Graffiti back again with another video, and this week I'm going to be covering the 10 things you want to do when you first get to Medellin, Colombia. Now starting off with tip number 1, that's going to be do not exchange money at the airport or take money out of the ATMs. The airport can have some of the highest exchange rates, so what my pro tip would be is actually exchange money before you get here to Medellin, Colombia. You can go to your local bank. You can actually tell them you want to exchange whatever currency you have for Colombian pesos. It usually takes about 2 business days, and you can actually have it before you even get here, and you not have to worry about exchanging money at all. But if you didn't do that or don't have the opportunity to do that, you may be flying in the next day. Wait until you get into the city of Medellin to exchange money. Do not do it at the airport. Now going into tip number 2, that would be after you exchange your money, leave the majority of it in your hotel room or your Airbnb. You don't need to carry large amounts of cash on you. Most places here do take card. I would suggest using card. If you do have some type of travel card that does not have foreign transaction fees, use that. But otherwise, most places you're not going to spend more than 50 mil pesos, so you don't really need to carry more than, I would say, 100, 150 mil on you in small denominations. Tip number 3 would be take Ubers, not taxis. So when you first arrive here in Medellin, as soon as you get out of the door from customs, you're going to get bombarded by a lot of men who are basically trying to solicit you for their services for taxis. If you do have to take a taxi, negotiate the price ahead of time, and then also make sure the meter is running. Otherwise, Uber is the way to go. Even once you're inside the city, take Uber. Going into tip number 4, that would be do not be flashy. You don't need to wear diamond earrings. You don't need to wear gold chains. This is actually a very good way to get yourself robbed here. So don't wear any flashy jewelry. To be honest, I wouldn't even wear designer. You may see some people with it here. If you see a lot of local Colombians with it, or some with it, most of the times it's knockoff, but you don't need to be flashy here. You being an American gets you pretty much in the door enough, so no need to be flashy. Going into tip number 5, that's going to be watch out for motos or motorcycles. Here in Medellin, Colombia, it is the primary way to get around, or the primary mode of transport, so you're going to see a lot of them. And it also is the most common way that you will get robbed here, not only in Medellin, but in other parts of Colombia as well. So you definitely want to be aware of your surroundings, constantly make sure you're looking out for the motorcycles. If you are going to get robbed, or at least the most common way is, there's 2 guys on a motorcycle, one's going to hop off, that'll be the person that tries to rob you. They're going to run, jump back on, and then drive off. So in the event that this does happen, my advice would be give up whatever you got. Your life's not worth it. Anything you have that is being taken, whether it's phone, jewelry, whatever, this can be replaced. So definitely just give it up. But overall, just be very aware of your surroundings, and then also look out for the motorcycles. Going into tip number 6, that would be get out of El Poblado. Now, I know for most of you, if it's your first time here, this is more than likely where you're going to stay. It will be either El Poblado or Laureles. If you're not staying in El Poblado and you happen to book an Airbnb in another part of town, congratulations. But for most of the people that will be staying here, my advice would be get out of this part of town. Go see the other parts of Medellin. You have Laureles if you're not staying there. You have Parque de Rio, which is a very nice park here. It's in Laureles. You have Itagüí, you have Envigado, you have Sabaneta, you have other nice parts of the city that you can actually go explore and see. So definitely get out of El Poblado. Number 7, this is probably more so for the fellas, it's going to be entertaining women or women guests. This would be take care of your doorman. Very important tip. I cannot stress to you enough how important this is. I've had instances where I just have had female friends over, and as soon as they left, I've had doormen call me just to make sure that I'm okay. You can tip them something small like 20 mil pesos, or if you're going to be staying here for a while, what I like to do is if I'm going to go out and get some type of quick food, I'll ask them, hey, do you want anything, or take care of them that way. Tip number 8 is going to be go into malls. If you are in the city and you run out of cash and you do need to get more cash, or you want to withdraw it from ATM, don't do it on the street. Make sure you do it inside of a bank or inside of a mall. This way you just add another layer of protection for yourself. You never know who may be watching outside the ATMs on the streets. So my advice would be just go into a bank or go into a mall when you withdraw cash from ATMs. 9 is going to be for the men that are interested in entertaining this, no judgment, but if you do want the working girls, as I'm going to say, go to establishments that are made for this. Do not pick up women off the streets. This is the quickest way to get yourself drugged and robbed, and this is generally where you have the most issues with. From my experience and what I've noticed, whenever you talk about safety in Medellin, it more times than not has to revolve around women, or at least the common denominator would be women. Anytime you hear about someone getting drugged, most of the time kidnapped, it's usually around them meeting some woman either off of dating apps or potentially even off the streets. Most of the time it's dating apps, but in this for this specific example or advice, don't pick up women off the streets. There's establishments here that are professional, that are made for that. Go to those. Don't mess with the ones off the street. Also, they are going to be more expensive, so there's that. Number 10, and the final tip would be walk around your local area. When you first get here, most people like to jump in a taxi, go straight to whatever area they're going to. Maybe it's Provenza, maybe it's Santa Fe Mall. You want to go straight to wherever it is that you're going, but my suggestion would be is to walk around your local area a little bit to get familiar with landmarks surrounding, just so you get familiar with your area, so you can recognize things where you are. If you can, try to learn or remember your address. Don't depend on it being on your phone. In the event that your phone dies or you lose it or whatever, you can at least know where you're staying, or you know some kind of landmark close to where you're staying that you can give directions to. So that's it. Appreciate you guys. Until the next one.